Live from Los Angeles. It's time to get inside the Gamers Dome with your host, Scott Gerhardt. Bringing you all of today's gaming news and information all in one place. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Welcome to the Gamers Dome.
Welcome everyone to episode 18 of the Gamers Dome. I am your host.
It's like we're an adult.
What?
I said it's like we're an adult.
Yes, we're finally 18.
I ruined it, but I was all excited about being 18.
Yay.
So, yes, Scott Gerhardt.
I am Scott Gerhardt, and as we have had joined for many weeks prior and many weeks to come, Miss Amber Mitchell.
Yes, hello.
Ah.
Sorry, I know I killed your intro. I was just excited. I saw 18, okay?
We're finally legal.
Yes. I can buy lotto tickets.
Yes. So, Amber, how has your week been?
My week's been pretty good. Yeah, it's been it's been a lot of video gaming, which, you know, that's good stuff. And a lot of real life fun stuff. And yeah, no complaints.
Real life fun stuff.
Real life fun. I got to go to my first drum circle.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was out in the middle of the desert. It was crazy.
Interesting.
Just totally like dry lake bed. And yeah, there was like some Burning Man people there. Burning Man people.
Burning men.
Yeah, Burning Men people. No, just people who go to Burning Man. So like, you know, the art cars, and this is a very creative group. So that was neat.
Excellent.
Yeah. What about you? How was your week?
I have been actually doing a considerable amount of gaming. A lot of Magic Online lately.
Yeah, I figured.
For me, they just released Dragon's Maze on there, so I've been probably playing more of that than I should have, and a few other things. I mean, it's fun. I like it. I haven't really played lots of Magic in a very long time, so it's kind of interesting getting back into it. And
yeah, what do you think about the online thing they have with the update?
Oh,
what do you think about what you have been playing so far?
Well, Dragon's Maze certainly rounds out the set pretty well and makes for a very interesting both draft and sealed format. I especially like draft. It's very complicated and fun. So I've been enjoying that considerably. So, well, we'll certainly be talking more about what we're playing later.
I know. I'm getting ahead in the segments. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I like jumping around a little bit here. Well, let's get into our news and information here this week.
We have so much to talk about. And
I want to start with another game that is or has been near and dear to my heart for years, but my own personal journey kind of goes along with the story. World of Warcraft subscribers has fallen to 8.3 million.
Which is still a huge number, but that's shocking.
Yeah, and that's as of March 31st, when you consider that at the end of 2012, they had 9.6 million. So that means they have lost 1.3 million subscribers in the last 3 months.
I wonder where is everyone going? Is it just like the Pandarian is worn off the new appeal, or what's going on?
I think that is it a little bit. I think there's starting to be other things out there. And World of Warcraft was such a juggernaut for so long. And I think it's definitely still obviously a major player, but it's not quite the juggernaut that it used to be. And I feel like so many other gaming options are starting to come up, and a lot of them don't necessarily require you to spend $15 a month.
Yep, that's very true.
So it's... I mean, to give you an idea, though, it's still in comparison to other things. Like EA's Star Wars The Old Republic still has fewer than 500,000 subscribers.
Which, like, yeah, that shocked me a little bit, just because I've heard people talk about playing it, and I really expected it to be a higher number. When I saw that, it was really only less than 500,000.
I'm actually not that shocked at it, to be honest with you. There have been so many games that have come and gone, and there's a lot of excitement, and then they just kind of fizzled out. So,
Yeah.
Well,
Galaxies was like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stay on that whole idea about cost and MMOs and Rift.
Oh, yes, Rift.
Rift is going free to play.
Which is pretty cool. I might actually try and play it again. I played this game when it first came out, so 2 years ago, and I liked it, but it didn't have enough to engage me for a really long period of time, and I just ended up getting bored of it. So I don't know. Maybe this will bring me back to it now that I don't have to pay a monthly subscription.
Yeah, and I've never actually tried it. I was so deeply embedded in World of Warcraft at the time. And finishing on that story, we were talking about World of Warcraft. I actually have 2 World of Warcraft accounts, neither of which is paid at the moment. And frankly, since I've started doing the show, I have had hardly any time to play WoW at all. It's not that it's not a good game, it's just it's a big time commitment. So I guess I'm two of the 1.3 million. But yeah, Rift going free to play. I mean, I'll try it. I like dabbling my toes into lots of different things and trying not to get too involved in any one of them.
Well, Rift is a fun game. It is, like, especially if you don't want to get too engrossed. It's a good, quick, easy to pick up sort of format. So I don't know. I think maybe you would like it.
Oh, I'm sure I would like it. I remember I originally stayed away from WoW because I knew I'd like it.
Yeah, I know, me too.
That's the entire reason I stayed away from it.
Yep.
So.
Ooh.
So let's go to a little old school here. Pac-Man.
Yeah.
There is a new Pac-Man game that's going to be coming out this fall. Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, based on the Disney XD show, will be coming to PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U, with a side-scrolling version headed to the 3DS.
I'm a little more excited about the side-scrolling version. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
It's cute. I mean, it's Pac-Man, in the cartoon style. So it's cute, but like when I saw this game trailer, I just was not, it didn't have very much appeal to it. It really doesn't. It looks kind of like just the same old game mechanics, and they just pasted Pac-Man on it. And I don't know, like it felt like either Super Mario Brothers or maybe even Sonic a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very unique. Not that I expect Pac-Man to be unique, but they're just, I don't know. It seems like they might be hurting my childhood a little bit with this.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to say that they have to leave Pac-Man alone.
No, they do.
But in the same respect,
let's play Pong 3D. Oh wait, that's ping pong. Just come over to the table.
Nice. I don't know what to say to that.
Well, it's just, like the old school games had their charm because they fit with the platform at the time. You just, I don't like them doing this to Pac-Man.
Yeah. So Twitch.
I feel accosted.
You're familiar with the Twitches, right?
I'm very familiar with the Twitch.
Twitch has just launched today. They actually launched a viewing app for the Xbox 360 that you can actually watch your Twitch from your Xbox. And
I have to say this is pretty exciting for broadcasters because it opens up the availability of people to watch your stream whether or not they're on their computer. So being able to do it with just with your 360 is awesome. But at the same time, I'm wondering, because a lot of Twitch people do communicate, via chat with their viewers, how that's going to work out on the 360, because I don't know if like chatting is really going to be as prevalent when you're viewing it from the 360.
Oh, yeah, I suspect not. But well, see,
if anything, it will add the numbers to your viewer list and generate more numbers there, and then help you get featured.
Sort of, yeah, exactly. Because you have to be in the top 300 live Twitch channels, or else you can't be seen.
You can't be seen unless they search for your name. So yeah, you won't be seen unless they know exactly who to look for. If that makes sense. Like there's a main page, where they have the featured.
Oh, I see. Okay, I misread that.
Yeah. If they know your name, like they know that what your Twitch handle is, they can search for that and then you're good to go. So it's for the people who already have an established viewership. That is just going to help their numbers, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It in a viewership capacity, the rich gets richer. Yep.
And it'll be good to be able to watch Twitch on your big TV instead of your computer monitor,
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm excited about it.
Well, speaking of the rich getting richer, Diablo 3 had a bug this last week that came out on during a recent patch, and it basically allowed you to exploit something to duplicate stacks of gold from 1 million to 10 million via the auction house, which, considering that they have a real money auction house, I mean,
it's scary.
Yeah, it really is. So, Blizzard obviously had to shut things down for a little while to get it taken care of, and there were only a few players that actually had enough funds to take advantage of it. There were only, but there were, according to the post, 415 players who actually used this for personal gain. They were either banned or had their accounts rolled back, and any of the money that was raised in the revenue through it is actually being donated. Both the proceeds, the player sale proceeds, and Blizzard's transaction fees are being donated to the Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
Good call.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're not keeping any of that profit. Good on you, Blizzard.
So, in April, a game called Guacamelee topped the PlayStation Network charts. GameSpot actually gave it a 9.0 review, and I actually was given a review copy of this game and have played it. And you know what? I kind of nerded out a bit on it.
I can imagine myself nerding out on it too. And I'm a little upset that I didn't get to play it when I was in town.
Something about this whole thing with luchadors, and you know what? I had a blast with it. It's a really fun game. I'm not going to say that it's this incredible, like, thought-provoking skill thing. It's just fun, and that's one thing I definitely like in my video games. It's just something fun.
Yeah, everything about the setup and everything. Yeah, exactly. Fun is the best way to describe what it looks like, and not something that you're going to go into like as a fanboy or having any expectations about video game mechanics or anything. This is just a fun, go and have fun game.
Yeah. No, and I had a lot of fun with it.
I love serious games.
I'm sure I'm going to pick it back up. So, the next Xbox, I guess we have a better thing to call it now. I guess we don't... Microsoft never comments on news and rumors, but oftentimes, especially when it comes this close to a announcement, which I believe is in about a week, It looks like it's going to be the new Xbox will be called the Xbox Infinity.
Oh yeah, because it was going to be 7. Everyone was saying 780.
720, yeah, they were just.
I guess 720. Sorry.
Yeah, they were calling it a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I'll be real honest. I don't actually have an opinion on this. You can call it whatever you want as long as it works.
Yeah, the new Xbox.
Yep, that new Xbox thing.
Isn't that what iPad tried to do that? It was not iPad 3. It's just iPad.
Yeah, it's just the iPad.
It's just iPad.
So, back a few months ago, we talked a little bit about Project Shield, and NVIDIA has finally announced a launch for Shield. It's going to be in June, and it's going to run about $349. For those who didn't catch it then or isn't sure what the Shield is, it's an Android-powered portable console. It basically looks like an Xbox controller with a screen on it. And you'll actually
that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, it really is. You can stream games through it, and it's really neat. Yeah, maybe.
I'm not that excited about it. I mean, I think this is going to be something more for the indie people anyways, but the people who kind of want to do their own thing. And that's cool. It's exciting, but like honestly, $350 for this little tiny game thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know really what to think about it. I want to see it once it actually comes out and see.
Yeah, E3 will be interesting.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to take a moment, and we do Kickstarter of the week here, and I was recently presented with a project that I wouldn't normally consider something like this because it's not directly gaming related, but it's one of our gaming fans that came to me with it, and it's something that kind of is a little near and dear to my heart, and I want to just take a moment to talk about it a little bit. This girl, Ocean Hannah, is taking part in the Pedal for Parkinson's charity bike ride. It's going to be a 60-mile ride around Stratford-upon-Avon over in the UK. And she's out there trying to raise money for this bike ride. Now, Parkinson's is one of those things that is very near to me. My grandfather had it. It kind of runs a little bit in my family, so it's certainly one of the things that concerns me as I get older, and it's serious. So we were hoping to actually have Ocean on the show, but her being in the UK and us being in the US, we had a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's hard to work that scheduling out.
Yeah, it's pretty late there right now. So yeah. we weren't ever able to actually get her on the show, but I wanted to take a moment and just talk a little bit about this and how important I feel like it is. She's doing it in memory of her grandfather as well. So it really kind of touched me. So I'm going to be posting up links onto the website, into the Facebook page, where you can go to donate for this. They're looking for donations of any size, and this is one of those where anything's going to help. I mean, it's a very small project. Not very many people have donated, so anything you can do is really going to make this a lot better. If you want to go directly there, you just go to www.gofundme.com/Parkinson's60, the number 60 mile bike ride. Again, gofundme.com/Parkinson's60 mile bike ride.
Yeah, guys, get in there and let's get that number up, because is such a, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's raised 185 pounds so far, and
Huge.
I'd really like to see that number get up a bit. So, and help a fellow gamer out.
Oh, the soft spots.
So when we come back, we are going to have an interview with a couple of people from this really neat new game called Chronoblade. It's a browser game that I've been playing in the beta on Facebook. It is awesome. They're going to come on and talk a little bit about it on the show. You are listening to the Gamers Dome on the Drawing Board Radio Network. So my PS3 recently crashed, and I thought it was dead. I didn't want to buy a new one. Then I found out about Fusion Electronics over in Huntington Park. In just over an hour, they had it working perfectly again. I can't thank those guys enough. Don't trash your old system when it breaks. Take it to my friends over at Fusion Electronics. Free estimates, 90-day warranty on all their work, and if they can't fix it, there's no charge. Any modern gaming systems, iPhones, and more. Call them today at 323-972-3376 or email them at fusionrepairs@gmail.com. Again, 323-972-3376 or fusion with the Z repairs@gmail.com. You need it fixed, they've got you covered.
Attention techno fans, you're listening to Electromotion by Studiotronics. Just one of the many exciting tracks from their album, Straight from the Source. Stimulate your brain and get your body moving to these high-energy cuts. Also, check out their newest single available for download, Electro. Don't just sit there, get your fix for Studiotronics. Now available on iTunes, Amazon.com, and CDBaby.com. Are you looking for Magic the Gathering singles? Shuffle and Cut Games' friendly staff has provided gamers one of the internet's biggest selections of singles since 2000. And if you have extra cards you don't need anymore, Shuffle and Cut Games has one of the most extensive buy lists around, paying top dollar for your unwanted cards. If you live near our La Habra, California location, come down and play in our weekly Friday night Magic tournaments. For more info, visit shuffleandcut.com. That's shuffleandcut.com. Shuffle and Cut Games, your source for Magic the Gathering.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Gamers Dome. So, you know what? We're just going to jump right into this interview here. As I mentioned before, there is an incredible new game out there called Chronoblade that I've been playing in the beta for a little while, and we've been able to get a couple of the people with the game on. I'd like to introduce Alex Pan and Stig Hudland to the show. Hey, guys.
We also have Jordan Pats too.
Oh,
Wow, bonus.
Extra. Awesome.
So we have our two game designers.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent.
And marketing guy.
Well, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, so I want to start because I've been playing this for a little while here, and I love the game. What actually makes Chronoblade different than other browser games out there?
Well, I think Chronoblade feels a lot more like a console game. We definitely studied the timing of games like God of War to really make it feel like a fast-paced action game, as opposed to a lot of turn-based stuff that's online right now and slower-paced stuff. But I mean, we're also adding in a lot of deeper systems, and we're trying to raise the visual bar and really make it feel like a game that could be a title on something like an Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, I think we don't want it to sort of be called a browser game in a lot of ways. It's just a game. It has all of the depth and engagement and all of that stuff that any game would have. It's just super accessible as well.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. I love it so far. How long have you guys actually been working on this game? How long has it been in development?
A little bit over a year.
Excellent. So is it still on the same vision that you had originally come up with, or have you been going along things and testing it, and I've noticed even in the beta, little things that have changed that have been more popping, and like I keep going, oh, that's cool, oh, that's cool. I mean, has it pretty much been the same vision the whole way through?
Well, we started out with something pretty specific in mind, and one of the really cool things about working online is that we get to get feedback from people in real time and see how they're playing and react, and kind of adjust the game to be more like what they're enjoying and less like the stuff that they're not enjoying. So it's definitely evolved over time. We try to stick to kind of the main pillars of the game that we wanted, and I think the scale and the experience of the game is still pretty much along the same lines, but it's definitely evolved based on user feedback, which has been great.
Yeah. So, what for those out there? I know you mentioned God of War a little bit here. What other games that are out there do you think are most similar to Chronoblade?
Steve, you want to handle that one?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of tough because we are a hybrid game, so in a lot of ways we're sort of new and really breaking new ground. But just as far as the fighting of the game, I think one of our big sort of touchstones there was Brawl, where it's really sort of easy to get into. But there's actually a lot of depth once you sort of dig down into the systems and explore what's there. And then I guess as far as the RPG elements, it's hard for me especially not to say that there's a lot of Diablo 2 sort of references in it.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit more about the actual story behind Chronoblade.
So Chronoblade takes place in an interdimensional war with this group called the Chronarchs. And what that means is these guys are sort of like the Borg of the multiverse. They're traveling from world to world, taking over, stripping the world of its resources, and then moving on with this giant armada of warships. And each of these worlds that they're taking over, because we thought it was convenient, represents sort of an archetype in video games. So we've got our steampunk one, we've got our horror one, we've got our high fantasy, and our cyberpunk, and so we're sort of using that fiction as a way for us to take the player through all these places that we want to show them and give them something new, radically different than what they've been playing through previously. And then they can in turn collect armor and equipment and weapons and stuff from those different epochs or worlds and customize their character using it.
Excellent. So I know right now you're currently in a closed beta. When are you planning on going into an open beta? Have you been able to set a time for that yet? And well, let's start with that.
Sure. Right now, this is Alex. Sure. Right now, we're aiming to go into single player open beta next month in June. But it's an online free to play game, so we're definitely going to be adding content over time. And so we're also going to be adding an open beta for our multiplayer, hopefully by the end of the summer. But in terms of the single player part, yeah, we're aiming for next month for that.
Excellent. And I know you guys have graciously given us a few beta codes. So if any listeners out there are interested, you can just leave us a message on the Facebook page or email scott@thegamersdome.com, and basically kind of on a first come first serve basis, we were happy to get you guys in there and trying to play it. So what other content do you have planned for the future?
Well, we're feverishly working on multiplayer right now. We're looking at PvP and co-op stuff, and we've gotten some new characters coming down the pipeline, new worlds, and Stieg's working on some really awesome item stuff. So there's a lot, and this game we really have kind of big ambition for these systems and the worlds and what we want to give to the player. So we're going to be working on it for a while, I think.
Well,
That's awesome.
I mean, from what I've seen so far, you guys are doing an incredible job with it, and I'm really excited to see what you're going to be doing with it moving forward.
Well, thanks. Us too.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see what it looks like.
Yeah, no. So, well, thank you guys very much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and it's great talking to you guys.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 So those were the guys behind Chronoblade, and like I said, guys, they were nice enough to give us just a few beta keys. So if anyone is interested in a beta key, leave us a message on the Facebook page, Twitter. You can find us there at the Gamers Dome on both of those. You can email me directly, scott@thegamersdome.com. I can email you one of those back.
Or if you want to jump into chat and say, hey, give me a code, we can probably hook that up. But
Yep.
It has to be live because we're not going to be watching chat later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, if anyone in chat wants one, we certainly are more than happy to issue them out that way. So go ahead and... Wait.
Whoa.
Whoa.
What was that?
That was a technical error.
Scott, you have a doppelganger over there.
I do a little bit. How about I try this? That's the button I was looking for. Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about what we've been playing and doing our Kickstarter of the week. And I have to admit, I've been thrilled about some Kickstarters. This is probably the one that I'm most excited about of any Kickstarter we've done so far.
Yes, he might geek out a bit.
I am. We are going to have, we're going to be talking about Hex, and we're actually going to have Corey Jones, the CCO and president of Cryptozoic, on to talk about this incredible game. You are listening to the Gamers Dome on the Drawing Board Radio Network. Do you need professional, reliable dog walkers, house sitters, or cageless in-home boarding? Check out my friends over at Leash and Lodge. They use GPS tracking for their walks, so you know they're always showing up when they say they do. With a 5-star Yelp average, they're the only guys you need to know. When you sign up, mention promo code DOME to get $15 off your first invoice. Check them out now at leashandlodge.com. That's leash, A-N-D, lodge.com. Leash and Lodge, because the better way is finally here.
Do you have a bookshelf full of comic books right next to the one full of video games? Are you a Whovian? A Trekkie? Do you aim to misbehave? Are you friends with Leonard and Sheldon? Do you tabletop with Will? If you answered yes to any of these, I have a new podcast for you. Digital Nerdage, the nerd culture podcast, visits everything in the world of nerd. Check it out at www.digitalnerdage.com.
Attention Magic the Gathering players. 10 Packs is a strategy guide aimed at teaching beginner and intermediate players how to approach the Gatecrash Booster Draft format through the eyes of 4 of the world's greatest players. They include Pro Tour champion Luis Scott Vargas, Pro Tour top 8er Melissa De Tora, Magic Hall of Famer Raphael Levy, and Pro Tour Gatecrash champion Tom Martell. Each pro examines 10 packs of Gatecrash as if they were the first packs opened in a high-level competition. They weigh the merits of each card, giving explanations as to why they'd pick a particular card over the others. They detail various draft archetypes in the set, and in many cases discuss the general draft strategies underlying their respective decisions. In Part 1, each author examines the same 5 packs, giving the reader their in-depth analysis of each pack. In Part 2, the authors each examine 5 unique packs on their own, giving the reader a grand total of 25 Gatecrash booster packs reviewed. Their professional insights will give you the knowledge you need to elevate your drafting abilities to the next level. 10 Packs is only $7.99 and available now in the Amazon bookstore. Just search the store for 10 Packs and check it out now.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Gamers Dome.
Ew. I'm still on the we're 18 high.
Yes.
Sorry.
We're legal.
I went and bought lotto tickets.
Nice. Yeah, my numbers were 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Oh.
Powerball 7.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna win. Sorry.
Probably not. Okay, so this is where we do Kickstarter of the week, and this Kickstarter launched last Wednesday, and I nerded out over it so hard. I mean, it's seriously. As soon as I saw it, I had to start asking questions, because it turns out that I know a few people who are working on this project, and I hadn't heard a thing about it. They had been completely tight-lipped, and I saw it. I saw the video the same time everyone else did, and this is an incredible project. It's called the Hex MMO trading card game, or if you just go to hextcg.com. And I could talk about it, but at this time we have we've got the man behind it here. I mean, there's a lot of people behind it, but the driving force here, he is the CCO and the president of Cryptozoic Entertainment. We have Corey Jones. Hey, Corey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you for being here, first of all.
Oh, no problem.
I know you've got to have a busy schedule right now.
I was able to slot it in between taking phone calls, so.
Imagine what happens when you put your phone number on your knuckles.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, I actually called back a second time, and I got the message, and it was like, I'm a little inundated here. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go to Kickstarter and search for Hex, watch the video. You will see Corey, and it is both informative and hilarious at the same time. Okay, so...
And I'm sorry, but congrats on being in Forbes. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know. The response has been, overwhelming. We were as shocked as anyone else that we've blown through funding goal so fast and scrambling to get all the stretch goal stuff up. But the response has been amazing. Like I couldn't be more happy.
Yeah, I just want to get into it because we're talking about it, but we haven't actually said what it is yet. So let's go ahead and start, because I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that haven't heard of Hex quite yet, which is why we're here right now. What is Hex?
So Hex is the first real, and I qualify it, it's the first real TCG MMO. And what it does is it combines sort of everything you love about trading card games, and takes what's awesome about trading card games and then incorporates all of the stuff that you love about MMOs, and most specifically, it incorporates the idea of community. And as I say in the video, one of the things that both TCGs and MMOs have in common is the need for an amazing community. Without other people, it's impossible to play a trading card game, and the massive and massively multiplayer wouldn't be very striking if you were the only person on a server. So you really have to have a lot of people playing to make both of those products work. And so sort of the genesis of this was trying to ferret out what about both of these games would complement each other, and where was all the innovation that could exist when you sort of combine them. It's one of those sort of chocolate and peanut butter inventions. And as I started to get into designing the original sort of high concept document and all the key features, it really struck me how amazing a game that was able to combine all of the great things about an MMO with all of the great things about a TCG could be so fresh and so new and so amazingly compelling. And that's sort of the beginnings of what drove Hex.
Yeah, it's. I've watched a number of the videos so far, and I'm just blown away. I almost feel bad asking this next question, but I'm going to anyway, because I know how I'd answer it. How is Hex different from other games currently on the market?
Well, there is. I don't believe there's anything on the market currently like Hex. When and again, most of my I've been in the games industry almost 20 years now, and most of my product development comes from what I want. I'm a big advocate of looking at what the consumers want, looking at what you want, and trying to find space there. Cryptozoic's motto is fans first, and there's two pieces to that. The first piece is our fans come first. We're very community centric. We make the World of Warcraft trading card game. We've got a great, group of people behind that product. All the stuff that we do, we support in a big way with organized play and message boards and big community outreach. So our fans always come first. We try to make decisions about what would, most resonate with our fans. But then secondarily, fans first for us means that we are fans of the stuff that we do. And so most of our projects are real passion projects. I mean, we have we have a lot of licenses. I mean, we're sort of the go-to now for licensed board games. And a lot of that stuff is because there are people here who are very passionate about these things. So, an Archer board game seems like a weird idea, but we have people here, myself included, who are just so in love with that show that, the decision was made. Let's go see if they want to make a board game. And that's or you look at Lock and Key by Joe Hill. I mean, Lock and Key is a great book. I wouldn't call it the biggest book in the world, but it's just so good. And we love Joe Hill. And so we decided, hey, let's work with IDW and make a board game out of it. And we've had a lot of success sort of tapping into these products or these licenses that have a very passionate following, us included, and making great products around them. And so when it came to designing Hex, it was really all about the game that we wanted to play and that didn't exist. And so right now, I mean, if you want to play a high-end, real trading card game, you've got only a couple of options. And currently, if you wanted to play a real high-end trading card game, but then also have stuff like an auction house and join a guild and have a really deep single-player experience where you're leveling up a character and it impacts how you play the TCG, all of those things, they simply don't exist. Or if they do, there's bits and pieces and they're wrapped inside of such a casual experience, something you might see on a Facebook as an example, that it really didn't satisfy sort of the needs that I had as a hardcore trading card game player. And so I think that what we offer is very, very different in that we have a real TCG. Again, stop me if I'm rambling on too long. But
oh, no, please.
One of the things that people don't understand, I think, potentially, is that just putting your art on an oblong square does not make you a trading card game. I feel like TCG and MMO are two of the most overused words in the whole gaming industry, and we got both. So, the feeling I had was that to make a real TCG, you need to be a TCG company, and we're a real TCG company. World of Warcraft TCG has been out for 7 years now. 20 plus sets. I got some incredibly talented, TCG designers here. We know how to do block rotations and manage sets and make sure the metagame is robust. And so what we're making is a real TCG. And when it comes to the MMO side, one of the things that I was lucky enough to have, one of my childhood friends was actually one of the 3 original designers of World of Warcraft, the MMO, Kevin Jordan, which you've probably seen the video that's up of him. And so Kevin came in and sort of led the charge in terms of what the MMO piece was going to be. And then on top of that, we have Chris Woods, who is the most experienced TCG AI designer in the world. He's done 9 different projects. There is no one that has the level of experience that Chris has. And so Chris is also, people don't know, an amazing card game designer of his own right. And so he's been handling sort of the PvE experience, doing all the dungeons and making those just so incredibly compelling and making them very different. I mean, you're going to have a really different experience in each of these dungeons. So to answer the long and winded answer to your question is that the sorts of things that we're trying, they haven't been done, and the things that have been done haven't really been done in a real way. And so what we're trying to do is just really raise the bar and give you everything you would expect from a full-fledged hardcore TCG, but then everything you wouldn't expect in terms of also getting a single-player experience, getting the guild stuff, getting the organized play you would want, getting the able level characters, and also all the things that you can do digitally that no one's done before, like equipment and socketed cards, and just the digital space offers so much room for innovation, and no one's really taken advantage of it yet. And that's the part where I feel so lucky that we were able to get this thing put together before someone else did. And I'm still in shock. I say it in the video. I'm still in shock that this game does not exist. I mean, I would be playing it nonstop if it did. And the fact that it doesn't just blows my mind.
Well, as a guy who's been playing World of Warcraft for a good 6.5 years and been playing card games somewhat professionally since 1996, just seeing this game just tickled me in a way that I don't remember the last time seeing a game tickle me this way. I was like, this is absolute. It's like you went into my head and you dissected it and determined, okay, what does he want to play? Okay, we just made it.
Yeah. I don't think I'm unique in the desire to play this game. And this is, I mean, like we talked about from day one when I wrote the original, sort of the GDD of what the feature set was going to be, and everyone had the same reaction, like, yeah, of course we want to play this game. I mean, this is just a hardcore gamer sitting down and saying, if I were going to play a game like this, what would I want? And I'm right there with you, having played TCGs. I mean, I was in a couple of Magic Pro Tours and Nationals, and definitely a hardcore player. And I used to spend hundreds and hundreds of hours playing Magic. And when it came to the MMO side, starting with Ultima Online, which I was just absolutely addicted to, 8 hours a day. And then the same thing with World of Warcraft.
Yep.
It just felt like, okay, these games have something in common. And my first sort of, and not a lot of people know this, but my first foray into this was actually the World of Warcraft TCG. I pitched the World of Warcraft TCG concept to Upper Deck during my interview there to come be in charge of new product development. And I pitched the idea of loot cards inside of packs with virtual goods that you could get in the virtual game. And no one had done anything like that before. And I pitched raid decks, which was an idea I had because that's one of the things I used to do with my friends who were sort of casual Magic players, where I'd make this one incredible deck, and then 3 of them would play against me. And so all of these things sort of came from my experience, both as an MMO player and a TCG player. And that was my big pitch to do the World of Warcraft TCG. And luckily, Upper Deck saw the value in it, and I was able to convince Blizzard to do it. And that's why that game exists. But it was sort of that first foray into, wow, these two things have something in common. There's something here. And then this is sort of the evolution of that.
Yeah, it's incredible. So I know you mentioned organized play earlier, and obviously, I mean, if you've played on the Pro Tour Nationals and stuff before, you understand the importance of stuff like that. Do you guys have plans to support? I mean, it's a little different because with a lot of paper games, you have like these events you travel to, and obviously, when you're talking about a digital game, everything's online. So, do you have plans to support like organized play for the game online?
100%. So one of the videos you're going to see coming up, it has not gone up yet, is an entire interview with our organized play group where we talk about just this. Organized play is going to be one of the biggest pushes for the game. My feeling is that the esports has exploded. You look at League of Legends, you look at StarCraft. I was the head of global biz dev and licensing for Blizzard for about 4 years, and I got to tell you, the amount of energy, the amount of passion. I was in Korea in this giant stadium when they announced StarCraft 2, and just the gasps of people and how excited. The littlest, tiniest feature, a zealot rushing, and the entire audience, I mean, of like, I don't know what it was, 60,000 people just gasping. Esports is a big piece of gaming's future. And I feel like TCGs in some ways invented esports. I mean, before Magic started doing pro tours, what kind of esports were? I mean, chess? I mean, there was...
Yeah.
Magic really invented this idea of esports, and TCGs is such a big piece of its DNA. I feel like, having real robust online esports, digital esports for a TCG is really overdue in many ways. And I feel like this is our chance to come in and just do something amazing. And we have lots of tournament formats. We have lots of plans on how we're going to support it. In the video I talk about it. I want to have real cash prizes for our tournaments. It's something that is very difficult from a legal perspective, but we are working very actively to try and figure it out. It's something that I want to do. And even beyond that, we haven't announced any of it yet, but I think that actual location-based physical esports, putting on events inside of conventions, as an example, where we invite people and have big tournaments, which is something that we do very well, is something that I also want to explore. I think if you've been to any of the things like the StarCraft live events with shoutcasters, or you've been to see League played it live, it is or all the Barcraft stuff. I mean, it's amazing, and it's something that I think that Hex could do very well.
I am literally getting goose pimples right now hearing what you're saying. Okay. No, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. So it's yes, esports is a big part of our plan. I'm hoping the product is incredibly successful because one of the things that we are committed to doing is rolling that success back into the product and back into the community. And that means prize support and everything else you would expect from just sort of triple A level esports.
So is this a new video that you're going to be releasing soon? Will it maybe have some new artwork for us to look at? Because I've been excited about the artwork on this thing. It is beautiful.
No, I'll be honest.
Oh.
It's actually just myself and one of our esports guys chatting. But we have been, every day we've been doing, I think, a pretty good job releasing more and more cards. The amount of art that we've generated for this thing over the last 2 years has been
Massive.
We produce, let's see, probably close to 1,000 images a year just for the World of Warcraft trading card game. And on top of that, I've produced, probably a couple thousand additional paintings using just some of the greatest fantasy illustrators. And at this point, we've maxed out the freelance fantasy illustrator pool. I personally going on to DeviantArt and all of these websites just trolling to find new artists. We've utilized just hundreds and hundreds of fantasy artists to get all this stuff done. And I couldn't be more proud. Like, I think, there's always a range. And one of the things that we've tried to do with this, and one of the things I loved originally about some of the TCGs out there, is that there were all these different styles. And I always felt like that was one of the things that was kind of charming about trading card games, is that you had all these different artists sort of, submitting their style to the world.
Yeah.
And so you've got a lot of that going on. You'll notice some of it's a little more cartoony, some of it's hyper realistic, some of it's, you have like Ludo Lullaby, who is an amazing comic book artist doing some stuff, and it just looks different, but it looks cool. And so the art's been that's one of the things that I've managed very specifically, and it's been a lot of work. Holy Moses! But I think it's really turning out great.
Well, from what I have seen so far, it is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's. I can't say enough good things here. So you've got the Kickstarter up right now. People have another 23 days on this. What kind of cool stuff can people get by backing the Kickstarter here?
My whole plan with the Kickstarter, good or bad, I felt like I would rather just over-deliver. And so if you look at the reward structures, Cryptozoic is giving you just a ton of stuff. Typically it's 2 to 5 times the value of whatever your pledge is in just raw stuff. On top of that, we give you all of these great exclusive cards. So one of the fun things that we get to do, because we have a distinction between PvE and PvP, PvP being the very serious organized play component, but PvE being the sort of single/multiplayer component. In the PvE side, we can be a little more loosey-goosey with how the cards work. And what I mean is that we do a huge balancing pass on everything. Everything is balanced. In World of Warcraft trading card game, we've only banned a handful of cards in 7 years. So we're very good at balance. We spend a lot of time on development. But on the PvE side, we can be a little bit looser because you're playing against the computer. And so you're supposed to win. And we've been able to come up with just some amazing design space and some really super fun cards. And one of the things that we've done in the Kickstarter is give you some of these really, really cool cards as rewards for jumping in. And so you're going to get at least 2 to 3 times your value of what you've pledged in just raw packs, and then a ton of other fun stuff. And up at the 250 tiers is where we get into where you can kind of choose what type of player you are, and we give you some amazing stuff. For instance, the Pro Tour tier gives you one free draft a week for life.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so what that does, it's basically a $7 value, and what it does is in about 6 months you paid for it basically if you're into playing the game, and it's so far people have really liked that. It's a really cool value, and we have about 5 tiers that are at 250 that are all like the pro player, the collector, the guild leader, the dungeon crawler. But then we have the $500 tier, which actually gives you all of them. So if you were to say you wanted 2 of them, you get the other 3 for free, basically.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at. I was like, I can't decide. I want them all.
Right. That's the biggest value. But all the way up, like the king level, the 120 level is sort of a great place to be. That's a big donation. We get it. That's a huge commitment. But for that one, we give you a lot of stuff, and we give you as an example, like the Spectral Lotus unlocks at that one. and that's where you actually have a card in your collection that every day when you log in, you click it, and it actually generates a card for you that is a one-time use card that is this just awesomely powerful design that's super fun. I think that's one of the ones that people are really like loving.
I geeked out so hard on the Spectral Lotus. I was like, really? That thing is amazing.
Yeah.
And just, the things that you can do in a digital TCG in something like this. I mean, the ability of to do something, and then once it's used, it becomes something else, and to have multiple backs to cards, and just, right?
It's mind blowing. I've been shocked someone hasn't done it already. Like the double back, I think is super cool. The idea, and the interesting thing was, we've been bringing in people to play the game and take a look at it, and we've had some awesome, like Cedric and Jerry. We've had some awesome people come in, play the game, write articles, and get feedback. And one of the things that really resonated, like the double back, the concept of the trophies that are linked to who won the trophy, creates this interesting thing where if I'm a pro player in Hex and I've got a little bit of notoriety, people like me, they follow me, and I win a tournament with a card, and now there's always going to be a trophy on the back of that card that says that I won this tournament, my name. It's almost a digital signature. So when I go into the auction house, it has increased secondary market value, and it kind of becomes like a baseball card that's been signed. And you've never seen that in a virtual environment at this point. And I think that's one of the things when we were talking about it with these different pro players, and they were like, that is awesome. They really like the idea that a card gets customized, but it's customized in a way that connects them to it permanently, and that increases its value.
Yeah, it actually reminds me a little bit of for way back in the day. I know you'd mentioned Magic way back in the day. For a short time, they did things like 1996 World Champion, and Tom Chemfing has that card that was very much his, but even that wasn't really customized. It was just this card that existed, and then he just won it. But to be able to do it like the way you're doing it with the extreme customization is, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, that's where the digital space is just amazing. I mean, there's so many cool things that we can do, and there are, like, I have a giant laundry list of features that I'm going to add to this game, stuff that we haven't even talked about yet. I mean, I've spent a lot of time thinking through what I want this game to be in a year from now, in 2 years from now, and in 3 years from now. And I think what's important about games like World of Warcraft, as an example, is that they didn't stop. They kept investing in that game. You look at World of Warcraft now, and when it launched, it's two different games. And one of our commitments to this game is that we're going to continue to add new features as fast as we can, and make this into a game where it would be no one will be able to compare to us, because we have such a head start and because we've been so dedicated to making it into a bigger and better game. Yeah, well, hopefully, you talk about the people coming down. Hopefully, at some point, maybe I can find myself in Irvine and see this, because I'm so anxious to actually be able to try this game. It is unreal. No, yeah, absolutely. We would love to have you come in. Just tell me when. I will email you. So right. Okay, so you're funded. I mean, you're looking for $300,000 as of right this second. You're at $473,886. I mean, if you're funded, why should people continue to support it? One of the great things about Kickstarter is that it allows you to set a goal that will give you the money you need to complete your project. Now, the upside of Kickstarter is that you can continue to raise money, and for us, that additional money will allow us to just add more features and make the game more polished. I mean, that's the bottom line. We have this giant laundry list of features we'd like to do. When I have additional money through the Kickstarter, it allows me to bring on more people, spend more money on stuff like particle effects, and I mean, everything has a cost. And the more money I have, the more money we have to put into Hex. And I think that in the end, we're going to end up with a game that people are going to be blown away by, and every additional dollar gets sunk into the game. So I'm excited. The other thing, too, I think people jumping in are getting a tremendous value, and I think it's a real great way to get a head start on the game. And I believe genuinely that people will look at the Kickstarter, process and what they've gotten as rewards and think, man, that was the best investment I ever made, because I'm having so much fun playing this game.
Well, I've noticed that you guys have already hit, I believe it's 4 of your stretches, and hopefully this is not going to be stopping anytime soon. I mean,
It's been an unusual trend. Like we've sort of, like most Kickstarters sort of start off, go up, and then kind of go down, and at the end they go up again. We've been kind of flat every day, like sort of the same amount of money every day. It's just been unreal.
Well, I feel confident at this rate that you should probably by morning have the next one unlocked, and I hope you've got stretch goals planned out for quite a while, because the more people hear about this, the more people are going to want to back it. I agree. The value that you guys are giving is unreal. It's amazing. If you guys have any inkling about this game, and if you don't, if you're listening to this show, you should be. I mean, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Get on there and back this thing.
We have more stretch goals. The funny thing was we were scrambling because I sort of decided as we raced up to that point really quick. I was not expecting it that fast. And then there was again, we're very community centric. And so there was the giant thread about stretch goals that popped up onto the the message boards. And I felt like, you know what, guys, we have a bunch of stretch goals we've talked about, but we did it in a vacuum. I'd like us to go sit back down and read through all these suggestions and start to see if there's anything in here that we think we should make a bigger priority. And so that's absolutely what happened. And so we're scrambling at the last minute because we wanted to take sort of the community's feedback into account when we made the stretch goals.
And opinions like that and things like that are the reason why Cryptozoic is as well received. I've never heard anyone ever say anything bad about Cryptozoic, period, and that's the reason why, because you guys do listen to the people and what they have to say, and I feel like this is the right game by the right people from the right company at the right time, and I'm so looking forward to it. I'm just completely geeking out as a gamer.
Thank you very much. We're a small company. I'll say this: our heart's in the right place. We always try and do right by the consumers. We're not a big. We're actually a pretty small company, and so I was uncomfortable with the idea of Kickstarter at all. Like I'm not I think the asking for help thing is a little difficult, but in the end, I felt like we could absolutely put together a Kickstarter that helped get the people that I think would be fans of this a chance to jump in and get all that value I talked about, and also just make sure it's the best game possible. So, Cryptozoic definitely tries to do the right thing always. Our heart's in the right place, but we're small, and that's part of the reason why we did the Kickstarter in the first place.
Absolutely. Well, Corey, thank you so much for coming on and talking about this. I really appreciate it. And guys, it's Hex TCG. You can search for it on Kickstarter. You can go to hextcg.com. Look at the videos. I mean, if you haven't yet, do it. You'll be as blown away as we are. Corey, thank you for being here with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh, Scott, Amber, thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys, and thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, and I'll make sure I email you because I've got to see this game. I've got to see this game.
Okay. We'd love to have you.
Excellent. Have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was Corey Jones with Cryptozoic, and guys, I'm not faking an ounce of this excitement about.
No, you're in nerd heaven right now. I
am nerding out so hard about this game. It is unreal. Seriously, there's no BS in that interview there. The Kickstarter rewards are insane. I honestly I can't believe that they're giving away as much as they are for the value. There's no reason that anyone listening to this show should not go there right now and at least back it. At the minimum, back the $20 one. At the $20 one, you're getting double your value plus an exclusive card and the beta invite. I mean, at least. And it just gets more and more insane as you go up. I mean, seriously, I love a lot of our Kickstarters. I'm not going to lie. I do. Doing what I do, I can't back them all. I don't personally have enough money to back all of them that I like. This one is getting backed, and I'm seriously thinking of backing at the $500 level. That Grand King tier is insane. It is nuts. So guys, seriously, at least $10 or $20, get in there and plow some money into this thing. I mean, I'm not been paid a penny here to do this so far, and it's I'm speaking from the heart. This is a project that I think is insane, and like I said, I have some personal friends. I have people who are friends of mine, people who have worked for me in the past, who are working on this game. People I highly, highly, highly respect, who are involved in this project, and I have to stop talking about it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we've got some hardcore gamers that listen, so all I really have to do is check out the Kickstarter, and they'll know. Like they'll be right on the same page.
Absolutely. Amber?
Yes.
What have you been playing this week?
I have been playing Towns again. Towns is this. It's not a sandbox game. It's almost like a strategy game, such as Ages of Empires, almost, where you build your community or your little town, and then you have to add the different things for economy and for military and production of industry and food and all that stuff. So it's almost like if you haven't ever played Dwarf Fortress, and that's going back like I don't even know, when did that come out? It had to have been like 2001, 2002.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, I was so addicted to Dwarf Fortress, and it was like the layout was just ASCII, like just a little ASCII characters moving around the screen, and you just knew that little symbol meant dwarf, and this little symbol meant he picked up a sword, and it was really fun mechanics. And now it's like it's been put into a game with graphics, so I cannot stop playing this game, and it is tough. Like I've yet to get my population booming, and every time I get more immigrants and my population grows, I start digging down into the dungeons and basically letting mobs raid me is what I'm doing. But it's just too tempting not to go down there for the minerals. So I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot in that game a lot, but it is addicting. And it's on Steam, and $15, I think, is what it is. And
the more you talk about this, the more I'm thinking about spending $15 on Steam and picking it up.
You should, because then me and you can like share our strategies with each other. Because I have a set now. I think I have a pretty good idea of how to start out my town and survive for enough time to gain more immigrants. But at the same time, it's still, there's this drastic incline that you have to get to, like building armor and setting traps so that whatever little civilians that you have are protected while you're waiting for those immigrants to come. It's just this whole like balancing act of supplies versus harvesting versus building more stuff versus making sure that their priorities are set right and they don't like go out looking for wood really far away and then starve to death. So it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
What about you? I know you've been playing the Magic the Gathering.
I have. I've been playing a lot of Magic Online. I've attended Friday Night Magic now the last 2 Fridays in a row. I've been playing a lot of Magic Online with the Dragon's Maze release. I'm trying to take it more seriously, actually. I seriously want to start playing more Magic. And
yeah, you got the bug back, didn't you?
I do. You know what? It's one of those things. I am a professional TCG player. I like playing them, and I love a lot of things in gaming as well. But this is definitely the area I get most excited about. So I'm trying it. I'm going to be going to Grand Prix Vegas here in June. So I'm looking forward to that, and that should be one of the largest tournaments probably ever. CascadeGames.com, Grand Prix Vegas. Guys, it's Modern Masters sealed. It's going to be insane. If you would like to play in the largest Magic tournament ever in the history of ever, go there. I honestly, I personally think it's going to get over 4,000 players. It's going to be that insane. It's going to be incredible. Outside of Magic, I certainly try to play a few other things. One thing I've played has been Plants vs. Zombies Adventures. It just kind of opened up in beta, and they've been slowly giving away keys to get in and play. And I like Plants vs. Who doesn't like Plants vs. Zombies?
No, it's a fun game.
It's a fun game. So they've done a Facebook version, and
they even had a little mini game put into World of Warcraft for it.
Yes, they do. What is it? Peace Blooms versus. I can't remember. It was Peace Blooms versus
Undead.
Yeah, Undead versus Peace Blooms or something.
Yeah, I don't remember now.
It was awesome.
But yeah, it was a little mini Plants vs. Zombie game inside of WoW.
It was incredible. I loved it, and I still have the pet from it. So I've been really enjoying that. Speaking of other games that are highly popular, Angry Birds Friends is out, and they have a Facebook version and an iPhone version. I've been mostly playing on the iPhone, where they have certain levels each week, and you compete in a tournament-type format, trying to get the highest score amongst your friends. So,
I have so far been able to avoid this, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think I'll be able to hold out any longer.
No, and the one thing I like about it is that it doesn't take very long to play. I mean, yes, you get a little addicted to trying to get one of the top scores amongst your friends, but it doesn't take too long to set a score and have something to go with. And then I really like the social games. I like the games where you can compete against your friends and you have fun with it. And it's, I've never been a co-op game player so much. That's not to say I won't, but it's not my big thing. I like competing. So, I enjoy Angry Birds Friends. So that's pretty much what I've been able to play over the last week. So I'm looking at the clock. I think we're done.
Yeah, we've gone over an hour.
Yeah, we put out a show. So I've got to thank, first of all, Alex, Pan, and all of the Chronoblade people for coming on. Thank you to Corey Jones for that incredible interview about Hex. Obviously, our sponsors, I love you all. And then there's a whole host of other people that you guys know who you are. I don't want to name names tonight. And Amber,
thank you, everybody.
And Amber, thank you for being here. And I'm going to thank myself for being here. I'm going to thank me.
Thank you, Scott.
I feel like occasionally I don't necessarily want to.
Hey,
but
it's 18, you're an adult.
Yes, exactly. I can do what I want. I can do. You don't control me.
Now you're responsible, though.
Wait, what?
Yep.
When did that happen?
When you turn 18.
Goodness. So, okay. Well, hang on.
Aw, now I just bummed you out.
Aw. Wait, that's the one I was looking for.
Oh, jeez.
So
let's just play them all.
Yeah, well, I usually do. It's just in an order. So, guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Next week, I've got a couple of interviews. I'm hoping to get some wrap-up from the Dragon's Maze pre-release, which is going to be going on this weekend. So I'm going to hopefully get somebody associated with that. I've got a couple of people, but the show is so quickly after the pre-release, I don't know for sure. But certainly we will see you back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. So until next week, I am Scott Gerhardt.
And I'm Amber.
And thank you for listening. And everyone, keep playing.